Welcome everybody back to Nothing Less Than Extraordinary. I have a beautiful topic. Couldn't be more perfect on this Friday. I have the amazing guest with me, Edward, but we're going to call him Eddy because he likes to be called Eddy. Eddy Rodriguez, welcome with us.
Thank you, Ree. How are you? And hi, everybody. I hope you're having a fantastic day and that this Friday is the best Friday you've ever had in your life. And if it's not, go make it the best.
Oh, isn't he good? I love his energy. And Eddy is such a sweet, sweet man because we're on these different platforms together. And he has an amazing project and the story behind it. I can't wait to get into the juicy story. But the topic of today is traveling the world with a smile. And you see he has the smile in the background and the word amazing there. Your smile is amazing. So he travels the world to try to spread as much smile and as much happiness as possible. And we're going to dive into that as well. So I'm going to introduce Eddy just so that you have a little bit of an introduction of who he is. He's an international bestseller author from a book called A Walk from Florida to New York. And he actually walked 277 days with only $200 in his pocket in spreading the love and the smile and the happiness to those he encountered. How amazing is that? And he's so dynamic as well. So he's a dynamic, inspirational speaker. He's also a trainer and a happiness coach. So I think I might have left off some stuff. If you want to add to Eddy, please feel free to add. Did I leave something out?
Oh, you caught it really well. International best-selling author, a speaker, and I do events and talks and, just all that stuff, I'm just a simple guy that goes around and spreads smiles across the world as much as I can.
I think it's so good. Normally people have this thought about, I had at one point of going around the world of spreading kindness. And how perfect is it that I have Eddy, who is my male counterpart that is already doing it, and he's spreading the love and the smile with his coins. So we're going to get into that story. So Eddy, I want to be able for you to share a little bit of your life story, how you came to come up with this concept and what was the the motivation behind the smile coin.
I have to tell you that life in 2006 was amazing. I mean, everything was flowing. The business was going awesome. And just, I was happy. I had, the house and the properties and, all that stuff, it was beautiful.
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden, I found out that the guy that was managing my business, I was trying to step away to become an inspirational speaker. Well, at that time it was motivational speaker. Now it's inspirational. But anyway, he kind of, let's just say he took some money out of the accounts, about $250,000. And yeah, it's not great when you find out that your company's being mismanaged.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and then what happened 4 months or 5 months later was the worst thing that's ever happened to me in my life. And this is what this whole process is about. Okay. My oldest daughter was in Korea. We got a call from her husband telling us that they had gotten into a moped accident and she hit her head and was in critical condition in the hospital. And she spent 45 days in the hospital, then she passed away.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
The absolutely worst thing that's ever happened to me in my life. And 5 months after that, I had a cerebral hemorrhage. I had 3 veins that burst in the back of my brain, filled my brain with blood. And they told my ex-wife, or my wife at the time, call the family, he's dead tonight. So, yeah, but I couldn't have 2 deaths in my family in 4 months. There was just no way that was going to happen. And so I decided that I needed to do something. About a year later, my ex-wife asked me a question. She said, what do you want for your birthday? The only thing I could think of was, I want a giant house, I want a boat, I want a car. No, I'm kidding. The only thing I could think of, you have to break up that energy from before, right?
Yeah.
But you do it with laughter, although I'm not funny. But anyway, the only thing I could think of is I wanted people to get along for one day, just one day. But it's impossible to do. You can't do that.
Mm.
But what I discovered is I could get as many people as I could to smile, to be happy, to be joyful, and to share just for a moment in one day. So as many people as I saw, I tried to get them to smile, to be happy, to be joyful, to wave. And I'd say, hey, this is who I am. This is what I do. How can I help you?
Mm-hmm.
And it just turned into this fabulous thing that we're talking about now.
Oh, wow. And that started what year?
That was 2006. And that all happened in 9 months.
Wow.
Yeah.
2006.
It was crazy.
And here you are still today.
Oh, yeah. Going strong, being happy. The thing that I discovered is that in every single thing that we say happens to us is not really happening to us, it's happening for us. Okay. And in that, how is it happening for us, right? Well, in the tragedy or whatever you want to call it, the gift, I call it a gift. In the gift that we're given, even though it's an ugly package, there's something inside there for us, something that we need to see. And for me, I discovered my daughter's smile inside of that package. It was the ugliest package I've ever had in my life, her passing away, but she left me with her smile. She left me with her energy to be able to help people. She used to go out, when she was in Korea, she would help the Koreans to learn to speak English. She did it from her heart. Okay. It wasn't, nobody was paying her, nobody was doing that, but she did it so that she could help other people. And so she left me in charge of that energy. And so that's why I started my Smile program.
Oh my God, that's so touching. I'm trying to hold back from crying because
yeah, it's you know, and then it just kind of blew up from there. You know, I actually 2010 I did an event where we were breaking a world record for most people smiling and waving simultaneously for 3 minutes. Okay, so we broke the record from Guinness, but they would never recognize us because, you know, things happen sometimes.
Right.
So, and then the Miami Dolphins had me do an event at their stadium during a football game called Smile and Wave America Day. So, yeah, that was awesome. I mean, the Dolphins really stepped up. You know? And, you know, in this whole time, it took me about 9 years to rebuild my brain.
Yeah.
So 2011, I'm still rebuilding my brain. And I'm like, okay, I'm not giving to anybody. I mean, I was because of the events that I was doing, but I want to do something bigger. I really wanted to help people to see how much the smile can make a difference in their lives, how much happiness, how much joy can make a difference. And so I decided I was going to go to Washington, D.C. and do a video that says, Smile and Wave America, we love you. Okay. So about 3 months before I was going to go on that, somebody stole my car.
Oh, no.
Yeah, they stole my van. And I was like, the van wasn't that good. Why do you want that van? So I was like, okay, well, you know, what am I going to do now? It took me 15 minutes. I'm standing in the driveway. It took me 15 minutes to decide, okay, I'm walking to Washington, D.C. Nothing is going to stop me from doing this video. That's how powerful this video was to me. Okay. And then they found my van. And I was like, no, keep it. I said, you know, listen, I'm gonna go walk to Washington, D.C. And who's gonna listen to a man who drives to Washington, D.C. and does this video? But the thing is, people will listen to a man who walks there. And so I decided, you know what, I'm gonna walk.
Wow.
And yeah, it was absolutely wonderful.
That's crazy.
So,
how do you survive on $200 at 277 days?
That's the trick, isn't it? So it's 277 days. I never planned it. I just walked. Okay, so I didn't know where I was going to go, you know, where I was going to eat, where I was going to sleep, and what I was going to do in a day. Okay, so out of 277 days, only $200 in my pocket. How many days do you think I slept outside?
I think I'm listening to my intuition. It says 5 days.
5 days. Okay, that's good. That's good. And what about, you know, times that I didn't eat?
Maybe that's a little bit more, 10 days.
Okay. So we got 5 and 10 days, right?
Yeah.
You're very close, actually. You're very, very close.
Okay.
So I had a place, I had a roof over my head every single night.
Wow. How
Yes.
amazing. Isn't that the journey? Wow.
It's incredible. It's incredible. And I never once went without eating. I had an overabundance of food along the
Wow.
way.
Wow.
You know, this is how amazing people are. This has nothing to do with me. It's the people. All the people that stepped up and said, hey, Eddy, you know, let us help you along the way. And it was so beautiful. And, you know, I got to prove not only to myself, but to, you know, everybody who reads my book, just how incredible people's hearts are. Because, you know, everybody wants to be heard.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to feel important. And everybody wants to feel like they're a part of something big. And, you know, the only thing that I did was I just allowed them to feel how they wanted to feel. I listened to them. And I understood what they were me, and they just opened up. Beautiful.
This is such an inspirational story because, you know, like especially at this time of our century, how much that's needed to see the beauty and how much heart people have, because the majority of people do want to help out and want to make this world a better place. There's a few rotten apples that really just ruin it for other people's, but the majority of people are very kind and generous, and you get to experience that. Wow, what an amazing journey. I wanted to applaud you as well for believing in this whole project for Smile. And now I come to appreciate, like, it's something that I would have think of myself, but would never dare to do. And because I would think that's just ridiculous, going around asking people to smile. People are just going to laugh at me. But you said, you know what? I'm doing it anyway, because it's really stronger than just, you know, I went through this traumatic experience. I've lost my daughter, the smile of what she represented. And this is what I want to spread to the world, happiness, and just seeing people come together and helping one another. It's super inspirational. You know, you see that, you hear this in a movie, and you get to do this in real life, Eddy. Honestly,
thank you.
Really. Wow.
Thank you. You know, I was blessed. I always tell people, listen, the universe said one day, you know, it called me up or texted me, I can't remember which. Bad joke. And it said, listen, we're looking for somebody crazy enough to walk from Florida to New York.
Yeah.
Okay. And, you know, I said, heck, why not? I'm not doing anything. You know, I mean, I'm still rebuilding my brain. Let me do something right. You know? So, yeah. So I went out and started doing it. And, you know, the funny thing is that life is so, so, so amazing. And you talked about, you know, choosing and things like this. If we choose what it is that comes into our life. And I chose to go ahead and go out on the road. Now, you would think that while I was out on the road, I would meet somebody who was bad, right? Never happened.
Wow.
No. I walked about 17 blocks with a murderer. Okay, this is in my book. I walked 17 blocks with a murderer. I rode in the back of a car because it was raining so hard, and I was walking down the highway, which I was not supposed to be doing, but it was the fastest route. Okay, so I was walking down the highway. This guy pulls over and he said, "I saw you when I was riding the other way," and I said, "If you're still there when I turn around to come back, I was going to pick you up." So, you know, he went ahead and picked me up. I was in the back of his car. He took out a knife that long, okay, and he started scraping it against his beard. And he says, "Oh, what I do, I just want you to know, is I teach people in the military how to kill people."
Oh, God.
Yeah, and I was like, okay. So, and then so it was kind of funny, really, because the guy was more scared of me than I was of him. I was sitting behind him, you know. So, yeah, and then I had a guy that actually pulled a gun. Okay. Another situation, stormy time, is lightning outside. So I really didn't want to walk out in the lightning. And so I started asking people for a ride to the next set of hotels. And he gave me a ride. When he turned the corner, he looked at me and he says, "Please don't do anything to make me shoot you."
Oh, wow.
And I was like, huh? I said, no, man, I'm cool. Don't worry about it. You know,
Okay.
it's all right. Yeah. And then he looked at me again, real serious like, and he starts to pull a pistol out from between his legs.
Okay.
And he's like, "Please don't do anything to make me shoot you." And I was
Were
like,
you
I looked
scared?
at, no,
No.
actually I wasn't. No,
Oh.
no. It's, you know, it's funny when you know what you're doing and you know what you're blessed with, this, you know, the project that you have, when you know it's that amazing, you feel a sense of safety.
It's true. Okay, I understand what you're saying, but it's not everybody that gets lucky to feel that sensation, but it's true when you believe so strongly about your mission.
Yeah.
There's no stopping you.
No, there's no stopping it. I mean, you know, with this guy, it was funny because I told him, I says, "Listen, man, I'm not going to do anything to make me shoot you, but if I wave my arms like this, I'm Cuban. I talk with my hands. I'm not attacking you."
Me too. I talk a lot with my hand, and I'm Asian. So.
Yeah, and so we had a great time for the next 10 miles. He gave me a ride 10 miles down the road, and it was absolutely fantastic. It was amazing. And he told me all about his family, how he got where he was, what he was doing in his life and stuff. So, you know, but I wrote a book about it, and all this info's in that book.
We're going to share all of that. Yep.
Yeah. And I want to tell you this, if you're thinking about writing a book, but you go, "I'm not a writer," guess what? Neither was I. Okay?
That's what I'm doing. I don't think I'm a writer. I'm writing my books. So God,
yeah, exactly.
So hard to write something. Holy crap.
And that language right there makes it harder. Let it go. Write down.
How do you go about changing it? I want to know. Like, I do it. The only way that I get to writing a book is consistently waking up super early before everybody wakes up, giving myself 30 minutes to an hour and just writing my book and just letting it flow. And then after whatever I can take, like if I can only take that day 30 minutes or an hour, and then it's too much because it takes a lot of brain power, then I would take a break and reward myself with something to come back to it.
That's exactly what you do. Don't let pressure get you.
Okay.
Because really there's no pressure. The only pressure that there is your thoughts of pressures that you put into it.
That's true. It's true.
And that's what life is.
Yep.
Yeah, life is, how much pressure do I put on myself to do this one thing or these multiple things and things like that? The pressure is self-inflicted.
Yeah, we forget that we self-inflict all that harm to ourselves, huh?
Yeah, well, you know, it's the thing is that a lot of us, not everybody, but a lot of us don't think about how can I change this? How can I make it easier? You know, we only think about what do I have to do in order to get this done? We don't say, okay, let me just let this go, let it flow.
Right.
I believe that this is going to happen.
It's hard for people to do that because then they feel they're not in control. So they feel like they have to control every single thing so that it flows well, but it does the opposite. I mean, it may give you a sense of false control until it no longer works.
Right. You know, like you asked me, how is it that you get across the country with only $200 in your pocket, 277 days? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. I didn't worry about it.
Right.
I used the phrase, who's going to show up today? Because I knew that every single day somebody was going to show up to help me get across the country. So, you know who helped me a lot? Hotels.
Really?
Really.
Wow. So you show up to the hotel and you tell them what? And then they say, okay, we'll help you.
Usually I was calling them, okay, because I had a cell phone. And I'm walking and there's trucks and cars and things like this zipping down the road. And I just, I talked to them and I said, hey, listen, this is what I'm doing. I'm spreading happiness awareness as I'm walking up to Washington, D.C. And then when I got to Washington, D.C., I decided to keep walking. I wound up in New York. Okay. But I kept saying, okay, this is what I'm doing. I told them the absolute truth, why I was doing it. I did not sugarcoat anything.
Yeah.
I just said, this is it. Okay. And I said, can you sponsor me with a room or with a meal? Things like this. Now, when you say that, if somebody says yes, you have to stay there, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you ever heard of Hilton hotels?
Yep.
Not Hilton, Lowe's hotels.
No.
No, they're a 5-star hotel.
Oh.
They're not associated with Lowe's. Okay. But they got the black what do you call them? The tablecloths and napkins, things like this. Fancy restaurant, 5-star. They put me up. Okay. I also had to stay in like lonelier places like Hilton, Marriott, we call it the Holiday Inn Express, places like that, Blue Green Properties, and then eating. Ruth's Chris, I had to eat at Ruth's Chris. They made me. Joe's Crab Shack. I had to eat at chef-owned restaurants. The TV chefs.
Yeah.
I ate at one of their restaurants. They baked me a cake. I had to eat there. They said yes. So this is only a joke. They really did say yes, but I wasn't forced. That was beautiful.
Wow.
Absolutely wonderful. Yeah. What do you call that? Private steakhouses, seafood houses, just, run the gamut. It was so wonderful to be able to walk into these places and they helped me out with a meal.
Your story is just so touching. It's giving me goosebumps. Like, and I'm thinking, with such an idea, like spreading smile and happiness, it's only like, it's like Forrest Gump's story, like you only hear this in the movie and here you are telling the story and how many people actually, oh my God, I just did something to the screen. I don't know what I dragged here. I don't want all this recording. Oh God, it just keeps coming. Oh boy, how do you drag this off? Let me just pause this 1 second. There we go, we're back. So that's really with technology. Right. I just break something and it came and then I put it back. But listening to your story gives me goosebumps because Eddy, it is so amazing what you are doing and the story of everybody stepping up and coming to help you and to give you a hand. And you are so focused and believing in your cause that there's no fear and it's just happiness. It's the energy that you're attracting. And I also wanted to mention as well, like, let's say somebody, because it's all about the self-inflicted pain that we do to ourselves, the pressure that we add on to ourselves that makes our life a little bit harder. And if we just learn to go and embrace with the flow, if you're able to do that, great, but sometimes it's really hard. So do you have any advice, like a few things that you can say to people who may have a harder time, like struggling with it? Because you lost your daughter, like that is the most painful thing. Then you had this thing with regards to your brain that, you could have passed away and died, and here you are. That's 2006 and we are 2022. So if I'm doing a quick calculation, it's close to 20 years, let's say roughly. Not that great with math. I might be Asian.
That's okay. It's all good.
So it's still, that's like 4, 10, about 16 years.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
And just to think about it, despite all of that challenge, here you are still smiling, still going on and spreading the love and spreading the happiness around the world. And just thinking, what such a small, like it seems such a small initiative, but yet so big. And most people would say, yeah, anybody can think of that thing, but nobody would actually do it. And you're doing it. So that's why your story is so powerful and so inspirational. It gave me, I had so many like light bulb going into my head going like, my God, I can really use Eddy as an inspiration in so many aspects of my life, just business wise, like going, I believe in a cause, and whatever happens, however it happens, let's just have fun on this journey.
Oh yeah, it's all about the journey. It's not about the destination. When
Mm-hmm.
you start making it about the destination, you start putting roadblocks in your way.
Yeah.
And, you know, did I know everything that there was to know about walking from Florida to New York?
Yeah.
I knew absolutely nothing about it.
Mm-hmm.
I had no idea. You know, here's how little I knew about it. I didn't even pack a tent. Okay. I didn't pack a
You would
sleeping
think you
bag.
would want to go on this thing and pack a tent.
Yeah. And I didn't even have a raincoat.
Mm.
Okay.
Mm.
I didn't think of those things. The only thing I thought was, I want to go. Just, it will happen on the road. Whatever it is, it will happen on the road.
Yeah.
And finally in North Carolina, now, you know, Florida to North Carolina, that was the first time that I got rained on.
Wow.
Yeah, because hotels kept saying, oh, you want another night? You want to stay here to let the rain pass and then go on your way? And I was like, yeah, you know. And then the day that I was going to get rained on, somebody gave me a raincoat.
It's crazy. I only have a small little glimpse of what you've gone through, because when I went to Thailand on my own and scared to death, because I didn't know the location, I didn't know how their policy worked. But when I kind of let go of that and just say, you're here to discover a country, it's a beautiful, gorgeous country. Whoever you may encounter, you're meant to meet them and just have fun. And when I let go of that and I did that, I met so many amazing people. I really did. And I only got a small glimpse of what you got to go through. So this is fabulous. I'm super excited. Let's spread all of that smile as much as possible. So those who are tuning in today, you are in for a treat. Absolutely. And I keep looking at your smile, Eddy. It is gorgeous. So what a great ambassador.
And yours as well.
Thank you so much. What a great, and I love your laugh too. It's so contagious. What a great ambassador for the smile coin.
You know, it's funny because people look at things, you know, this happened in my life, that happened in my life, that happened in my life. This is blocking, that's blocking, this other is blocking. And I want to tell you something, that the only thing that's blocking you in your life is you. Okay, because you're not going out and getting it, and you're not doing it, and you're not believing in it, and things like this. And I'm not saying this badly to anybody, because a lot of times we don't understand that, you know what, trust us, trust ourselves. Whoever you are, whoever's listening to this, trust yourself.
Trust that you're able to find the solution.
Yes. Think about it. This is what I want to do. This is how I want to do it. That's fine. Okay.
Yeah.
But in the end, let it go.
Yeah.
And let it find its way to you.
Yeah.
Okay. Right now, I got stage 4 colon cancer. Okay. So I got stage 4 colon cancer in 2017.
Okay.
I'm still dancing with it. Right.
Right.
And I want to go and I want to spread smiles across the world, you know, across the country, and things like this. And I want to be there sometimes and go to places where I can spread the smile. But stage 4 colon cancer, everybody, no, don't go there. No. You stay home, stay put, watch your health and all that stuff. Well, guess what? I can watch my health as well out there as I can at home.
Right.
Okay. So what I did was I took a van, Dodge Caravan, and I wrapped it. Says, your smile is amazing. Thank you for sharing. Break out your super smile. I've got the coins on it. I've got the book on it. I've got all these happiness things. You cannot miss my van when it drives down the street. And, you know, unless you're a person who just doesn't want to smile, when you see it, it's going to give you a little smile. So I've taken that and I'm driving around everywhere I can. I went to 18 different states last year. I've only gone to maybe 4 or 5 this year so far. We're going to Alaska. They invited me to Canada to a pickleball tournament, to spread the smiles. So
you came to Kingston.
Yes, I did. I did. Yeah. So it was wonderful, absolutely wonderful. And, you know, the people are so kind there in Canada. And I loved it. I loved it. I
Oh,
really did.
good.
And Kingston is great.
It's beautiful.
I mean, yeah, it's absolutely a beautiful place. And, you know, so between the people being so good and Kingston being so amazing and looking in the windows in Kingston, I saw hearts. There was hearts in windows. Okay, so you're walking down the street, you see these hearts in all these stores, you know, and restaurants and stuff like that. And it was an encouragement from COVID, just encouraging people to find their heart and to find themselves after COVID is done. So it's like, wow, wow, you know, for a whole city to do that. If you can get to Kingston, go. Go. It's worth going.
Yeah.
So it's, yeah, it's absolutely amazing, you know. And if you can make somebody else in your day smile, be happy, be joyful, I mean, just give them a little tip that will just turn it up, you know. And it just, you'd be surprised. Some people don't understand that the smile is a superpower.
It
It
really
literally
is.
is.
So simple yet so true.
Yes, it pulled me out of my depression back in 2006 and 2007, pulled me out of my depression, and literally laughter saved my life from the cerebral hemorrhage. And you can't smile without, and you know, you can't laugh without smiling. In order to be able to laugh, you have to smile.
Yeah.
Isn't that cool? Because laughter, it brings it up. It really releases the endorphins inside of you to really heal you and also make you like the Energizer Bunny.
Yeah.
Yeah, because sadness brings you.
Yeah, it's
You don't want to
true.
do anything. Happiness, you smile, you perk up, you go, and you're like, yeah, I got this. So practice smiling as much as you can, but really from the heart, pure and clean from the heart. Bring that smile up and expose it to everybody, especially now since we don't have masks.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So it's just it's a beautiful thing, and you know, it's my life now. It truly is my life. And the smile points.
Yeah. No. And when you live like that, everything just looks so much more beautiful. And I'm going to use your energy, your high frequency to model that in my own life. Oh my God, do I ever need it? So how the universe put you on my path so perfectly right now. It's just like my boyfriend has gone through like a financial bad investment, lost a whole lot of money. So he's quite down. And so trying to be supportive, it's tough. So the fact that we just happened by miraculous reason, it worked out that this Friday, you and I are both available. Your story, it cannot be more perfect. And I can't wait for all of those people who are at home that may be going through some tough times and wondering and what's the point and all that stuff. Really, there is a purpose, there is a reason. You just got to find what that is for you and really do smile. Like honestly, it does something to your body. I don't know what it does, but and you mean I've been wondering for so long, like how do I actually stay resilient? Maybe thank God, thank Buddha for like giving me the smile. So maybe it's the fact unknowingly that I smile all the time helps to keep my my resilience level high, helps. But if you're going through a tough time, I hope that the story of Eddy could really be a source of inspiration for you. We all have those low moments and sometimes they're harder than the other. But the one thing I do know about life is that no matter what happens, give it time. It always end up always working out. It's just we stress ourselves nonstop, and we forget to stop and smell the rose and be in the moment. There's so much beauty around all that chaos. And like you said, things that happens to us is a gift, even though in that time we can't see it as a gift. And I know Eddy, we never really got to talk in that level. I too lost my little baby sister to depression. So that's really hard. So when I hear your story, I think about my father, how hard that must be for him as well, because it's his baby daughter. And but yet they still keep persisting every single day because they still have other kids and they got to keep going. How they do it, I don't know. I could not imagine losing your kid, because the story, the life is you're supposed to go first, not the other way around.
You're absolutely right. We should have that conversation
Mm,
together one day, because
yeah,
losing a child is like nothing else.
yeah.
It can bring you down rapidly. Losing a brother, losing a sister,
Mm-hmm.
things, losing family can really destroy you
Yeah.
unless you know how to go inside of you and bring the best of you and the best of them
Mm-hmm.
up.
Yeah.
Because
And I'm just, yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
no, go ahead, go ahead.
I'm following my intuition, and it just says that my audience really need to hear this. And we don't
Yes.
have to go dive in deep, because I'll have you back on my podcast, but maybe just a few word of encouragement for people, those who've lost their kid, their children. How do you start getting yourself out of this fog, out of this nightmare?
Mhm. Well, one of the things is when you lose your child, a lot of people are going to, they're going to come up and they're going to say to you, I'm so sorry about what happened. I'm so sorry about your loss. Okay. And understand, because a lot of times what happens is people start to go down
Yeah.
from there, because they hear this, I'm sorry for your loss. Oh, that's the worst thing that can happen in life. And they hear the outside noise.
Yeah.
Okay. Go inside of yourself and find the beauty of the person that you lost, whether it be your daughter, your son, family, friends, whatever it is.
Mhm.
Go inside and find the beauty of them
Mhm.
and honor them in their beauty.
It's
Don't stay.
true. That's what I
Yeah,
did without even knowing.
yeah.
Because I
When you
chose,
start,
yeah. And I don't want to cut off your story short, because it's so, so, so important. But I didn't know that that's what I was doing. So I chose not to mourn her. And I asked my boyfriend, if the day comes I die, I don't want you to be crying over me. I want you to
yeah,
celebrate me. I want you to remember all of the beautiful memory that I left here while I'm on this earth.
right.
So I chose not to, of course, I cried for sure, but I chose not to stay in that. I chose to celebrate her life instead, for that 30 years that she was on this earth, how
Right.
much joy and happiness she brought into this world. And in order to do her justice, in order to carry on with her legacy, because even though physically she's no longer here, spiritually, energy wise, she's still with us. I have conversation with my sister all the time. And I feel her and I know. And so that's why, like, I was just listening to my intuition. I'm a very intuitive person. So it just said somebody needed to hear this. I don't know who out there needs to hear this, but I'm sure a lot of you might find this helpful. But absolutely, you're right. Honor that person. And sometimes that's so hard to do because you miss them terribly. And that's not to say that once in a while I don't go into a mode where I'm like, oh God, I really miss her. But I had a click, something clicked in my head. I just knew that when I was in that mode, I needed to keep going. I had to constantly be in motion. And I do very well when it's survival mode. I'm super productive. I overperform. Uh, and then after, oh, it starts sinking in, this is reality, she's no longer here, now I have to deal and face my emotion. And because I did so much action, that by the time I'm starting to want to mourn and cry, I passed that stage. So now I'm at the stage where I can really look at it with less of that emotion bombardment. I have a little bit of a protective barrier of distance. But I realized, come back to this because I always go into like a turnaround before I can find the right word here. Being concise.
I do that too.
But the click that really did it for me was this. There was a point when I terribly missed her so much. And I look at my life, it's beautiful. I have an amazing boyfriend. I got amazing kids, wonderful parent, and everything that I could have wished for. And it's gorgeous. But then the fact of her not being with me to share this beautiful moment, and it's not about the sad moment that I want her to be there, is when I'm going through those happy moments that I really wish she could be there with me to share it with me. But she wasn't there. And I was working in the garden and I realized, what's the point of like enjoying life? She's not even here. Everything, it's gone. Like it's not worth anything anymore. And it dawned on me, and she was talking to me. She's like, sis, you got to keep going. I'm not here, but I'm still here with you. I see you, I feel you, I hear you, and I still carry on living through you, through your children, through mom, through dad, through my friends. So for that, you have to keep going. And so it's just live the best life that you can actually live while you're on this earth. And she does hers. So I say it in my book that I'm going to write for women on relationship, is basically I tell my sister, keep kicking ass, being a badass in that other world that you are, while I'm still on this earth trying to kick and be a badass here until we meet again. So until then, my journey is not done. I got to keep going. Anyway, I don't know what I was trying to summarize here, but that's.
Oh, you nailed it. You absolutely nailed it. That's fantastic because you found the key. You know, look at all aspects and cry if you have to, but don't continue to do that.
That's
you
right.
can be sad. It's okay, but don't continue to do that. You always look for the good things between the two of you, between family and places that you've gone, things that you've talked about and shared. Look at the positives. Look at the things that she taught you. Look at the things that she understood about life that you didn't know. And she opened your eyes to them. I mean, it's absolutely incredible. You did exactly the right thing. And your intuition popped up at the right times. So I love that story. I love hearing that.
Thank
you did great. A virtual high five.
Yay, virtual high five. I just love your story more, and you're so inspirational and you give me goosebumps, and I thank the universe for today. Honestly, I feel gratitude. I'm looking at the sun outside. It's just beaming bright light. It's gorgeous. And then just across me, I got this beautiful picture of my sister smiling back. So
nice.
It's gorgeous. And so all that just to say, if you're struggling and you're having a hard time, and there are times when it's really difficult, but when you do have a little bit of strength, try to find the positives, try to find and give yourself time, like give yourself a moment. Just don't stay in that negativity location of dwelling for too long, like Eddy said. I also wanted to use this moment because the hour is coming close by. I wanted to use this moment to highlight your book as well. Okay. So I'm going to leave the floor to you. I'm going to let you tell it to the audience.
Well, my book is, you know, when I did the walk, I didn't mean to write a book. I just did the walk because I was pushed, motivated to do that. The universe is like, come on, you got to share it. You got to do that. So I really didn't intend to write this book, but it turned out so amazing. The trip turned out so amazing that people kept saying, Eddy, you got to write a book. I didn't know how to write a book. I didn't know. I failed English miserably. But you know what? I just sat down and I started writing my story. And people love the way that I wrote it. And this is not me talking. This is what I've heard from them. They feel as if they were with me on this walk, that they had the experience with me, and that they learned so many different teachings and things about life. Because in my book, I write the stories about the people that I met along the road, the places that I stayed, the things that happened to me. And I've got things in there that you could look at it and say, oh, wow, that was a negative. No, it wasn't, because at the end you find out how that negative was turned into a positive. And I leave little cliff notes in there so that people can see, okay, this was this, that was that, and this is the result. So it's not only going through the experiences, how do you perceive the experience? How do you live through the experience? How do you create something beautiful out of something that's maybe not so positive? You know, and it's all right there for you. The book, you know, things that I've been told, this is on my, what do you call it, reviews, okay? There's a friend of mine who got my book. She went to the airport and she had an 8-hour flight delay. What do you do on an 8-hour flight
Exactly.
delay?
You read a book. Yeah, yeah.
Oh my gosh. You know, when are they going to get that plane on the ground so we can get in? Well, he did that. She read my book. And she said, the thing is that the only thing that I wanted to do was I wanted to help everybody else to smile. So that's, you know, it calmed her. It taught her different things. You know, she had different experiences rather than the experience of being at an airport, being angry and just being upset and impatient. She got to be calm, peaceful, and happy. And so I'd love to get the book in all the airports.
Yeah, go on it.
Yeah,
Like, Eddy, there's no stopping you. And so people who are going to be listening to this, so where can they get the book? And we call the name of the book is A Walk from Florida to New York by Edward Rodriguez. So if you go on Amazon, I'm sure you can find it.
You can find it on Amazon. You can also go to my website. And I'm going to give you the mobile happiness center.com. That's the one with me traveling across the country. You'll find the book there, amongst other things, the coin that we talked about. So it's www.themobilehappinesscenter.com.
I love it. So mobile happiness.
Yes.
And then what's the other word?
Center.
That's right.
Yep.
.com. Perfect.
Yep. So we drive around in a van and it's mobile. We're happy. So that's the center.
Awesome. I love it. I'm going to repeat it again because people need to repeat it and to hear it and to integrate it. So make sure I'm going to let you do it because I don't want to confuse more people. So www. And then
the mobile happiness center.com.
There you go. You heard it. Go check out.
Nice.
Absolutely. And do you have anything else that you're working on that you want to maybe share with the rest of the audience, the world?
Well, I have a coin that I developed. You find it on the website. And the coin, I designed it about 4 or 5 months ago. And the coin is designed to be tracked from where you are to whoever you send the coin to in the world. When you get the coin, you send it to somebody else with a note saying, you know, how much you love them and why you're sending them this coin. It's absolutely beautiful. So when they open the mail, they're going to freak out. They're going to love it. And so they write a note to somebody else. Okay, they register the coin. They write a note to somebody else and keep passing it on. And we can keep track of where this coin goes across the world.
I want one.
We'll have to get one in your hands. Definitely have to get one in your hands. Woo-hoo! So,
oh my God, I love it. I love the idea of spreading and the coin. It's like the traveling pants kind of movie, but this is
exactly
awesome.
The traveling
spreading
pants.
Happiness and smile. Fantastic.
So it's, you know, and also in September. So far the date is probably September 20th, but I think it may be a little bit flexible. We're going to do a laugh-a-thon.
Oh, wow.
We're going to get together as many people as we can on Zoom. And we've got a special treat for everybody. And it's a day for laughter, a day for smiles, a day for happiness.
Yeah.
We're going to get some comedians coming on. And,
Yeah. I want to be there.
like
I love laughing.
Yep.
So I want to be
And
there.
there is a way if you'd like to follow us.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I can't always remember the phone number. So
That's okay.
I'm going to pull it up here. Give me just 1 second, please.
No problem.
Okay, hold on. Where am I? There we go. Okay. So if you text the word smile,
Mm-hmm.
okay, to 855
Mm-hmm.
476 4845.
Mm-hmm.
Text the smile, and then a thing will pop up, and you just hit the link, and then what it does is it connects us.
Mm-hmm.
So you're become a part of our family, the Smile family.
Mm-hmm.
And we're sending you notes of where we are, what we're doing, and things like that. We don't send a lot. We do not scam anybody, and we do not share anybody's email.
Mm-hmm.
So, but every once in a while, you get inspirational things and just pictures of what we're doing and stuff. And then you can also contact us
Mm-hmm.
and let us know what you're doing. Share your smile on the website.
Mm-hmm.
Share laughter, share beautiful inspirational stories. You can share them on the website so that we can know what's happening with you. It's not just about us.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just about the project. It's about everybody out there.
That's
Trying to bring the world together in a smile.
Yeah.
And we'd love to do it one person at a time, but if we can get groups of people to smile, it's even better, isn't it?
Isn't it? Yes.
Yeah. Put out that beauty, put out that happiness, and share groups, because it's your smile that's important.
Yes.
It's your smile that makes a difference.
Mm.
And we would love to enhance it for you.
Oh, that's amazing. I love it.
Thank you.
I will let you end with the last quote because I love quotes. And so, Eddy, if you can, one quote that you live by or that has serves you well, what is that quote?
Other people think of me as none of my business. Life is absolutely amazing. I don't want them or me to get in the way of the beauty of life.
Oh, wow. Wow. That's such a powerful nugget just there. Holy crap. I got to listen to this again.
I got one more if you don't mind.
Sure.
Forrest Gump, my cousin, his mother said, life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you get.
Yeah.
Well, I say life is like a box of donuts. Okay. It's got a lot of holes in it. It's really sweet.
Oh, wow. How cool is that? Wow. I never thought of that one. That is so bright, Eddy. That's
in my book too.
I love it. I love it. Thank you so much for today's session. And I want to thank the audience for tuning in. I can't wait to hear about their comments, how much they enjoy this. And I know in my intuition that this is going to be so good for people. So please reach out onto his website, call in, connect, text, smile. Thank you so much, Eddy, for today.
Absolutely. And thank you too. And everybody out there, have a wonderful day. Stay safe, keep smiling, keep moving forward, and know that there's a better tomorrow out there. Today's not so bad. Love you all.
Yeah. How amazing the way you ended. Thank you. Bye, guys.
Bye, everybody.